Time now for part two of my exclusive interview with Governor Scott Walker. We discuss illegal immigration, amnesty, and border security. I begin by asking him what President Walker would do to deal with these challenges.
This is far bigger than just immigration. We talk about the border. This is literally an issue of safety, of national security, of even sovereignty. When you look at international criminal organizations penetrating our southern borders with drugs, with firearms, with human trafficking, not just people wanting to work, but literally human trafficking, egregious situations there. But we need to secure the border once and for all. We need to start enforcing the laws at all levels in this country. And then we need to have a legal immigration system that goes forward in a way that really puts a priority on American working families and their wages in a way that I think can fuel the American economy. If you start enforcing the law, the sanctuary city issues we've heard about, situations like this and others, I think will take care of itself going forward.
On a recent trip to Iowa, I guess in the town where you used to live when your dad was pastoring a church there, a family of illegals came to you, and you had an interesting exchange with them. Would you recount that for me in your mind's eye, what exactly happened?
Yeah, and I told the family, particularly the two kids who go to an elementary school near where my nieces go, that I empathize with them. I certainly have empathy for their situation, but they were upset at me because I'm one of the 25 governors who went to federal court to block the president from the action he took, that he said 22 times before last November he couldn't do. He said he was the president, not the Emperor of the United States, and then a couple weeks after last November's election, he just threw up his hands and said he was going to do it anyway. I pointed out to them that what makes America great is that no man or no woman is above the law. The president said he couldn't do it. Legally, he can't do it. I went to court along with the other governors of the blockade. And that while we're a nation of immigrants, we're also a nation of laws, and we need to uphold the law in this country. And I had, great empathy. I felt bad for that family and that situation they're in. Interesting, after we got done, a liberal activist group in the Milwaukee area in Wisconsin, we found out paid for them to come on over and got back in the car with them and brought all their video equipment. So it clearly was a setup, but in the end, I think the policy is important. It's important to let people know that while I have empathy for families who are in difficult situations like that, particularly for the kids, in the end, we have to enforce the law in this country. We're a nation of laws. We can't look the other way, particularly when it comes to the president.
Everybody can change positions, but there is something that I'd really like for you to clear up for me. The Wall Street Journal in March wrote the following: Scott Walker told a private dinner of New Hampshire Republicans that he backed the idea of allowing undocumented immigrants to stay in this country and work, and now paraphrasing the article, perhaps even finding a path to citizenship. Is that your point of view?
No, that's not accurate. And I pointed out on Fox News Sunday with Chris Wallace many months ago that this is a position that I've taken based on talking to people like Governor Abbott and other governors and leaders along the southern border, that I listened to other people across the country, and I've acknowledged it. I said I had, as a governor, I haven't had much of a position before. It's not an issue I've had to deal with. So this is one where I've made statements in the past that weren't a part of any policy. I've always said I opposed the Gang of Eight legislation that Senator Rubio and others were involved with. But I said, going forward, I spent the time this past year listening to people, talking to people across the country, listening to folks who've been working day in and day out on the issue of immigration and dealing with the challenges, particularly along border states. And it is one where I've acknowledged that to me, I've taken a different path in regard to that position because I listen. And I think people want a president who, when the American people are telling them firmly what they want, are willing to listen.
On MSNBC's Morning Joe, Donald Trump told my old colleague Joe Scarborough that he favors a, quote, merit system, end quote, for illegals. Is that amnesty?
Well, to me, I don't believe in amnesty. If you take people who are here and you allow them to become citizens in particular, I don't think that's the right approach. To me, I don't believe in amnesty. I think you've got to go in order. You've got to secure the border. Otherwise, you're just opening the floodgates to bigger problems in the future that go far beyond immigration. You've got to start the process of enforcing the law in this country. And then you've got to put an emphasis on a legal immigration system, as I've said, that really puts a priority on American working families and their wages. When you do that, I think it'll help grow the American economy.
Border security is national security. When you say to secure the border, do you favor the fence? Do you favor a wall on our
Well, I think it's
border?
a combination of things. This is an issue of not just public safety. This is a national security issue, and increasingly it's an issue of our sovereignty out there. And so we will do what is required through the combination of technology, personnel, and infrastructure to make sure we can secure that border. It is one where these are international criminal organizations. If we saw this at either of our water-based ports on the east or west coast, we'd be sending in the Coast Guard, if not the Navy on top of that. We need to secure our southern border. Remember, and I saw this firsthand with Governor Abbott, increasing numbers of people crossing that they're catching coming across the border aren't coming from Mexico or even Central America. They're coming from places all around the world. I was surprised to see the number, for example, from Indonesia or other Muslim-based countries around the world. Elements of that have got to be connected to radical Islamic terrorism, and that should be a major concern to us here in America. We need to secure ourselves.
Part 3 of that exclusive interview with Governor Scott Walker tomorrow night, right here on Newsmax Prime.